Okay, Socks, this one is for you. Show you beef jerky 101. First, I use topside, which is nice and lean, and it's partially frozen, which will make it easier for slicing. That will be step one. So I usually start by slicing about that thickness. I don't know what that is, 4 mil, 5 mil. And I go across the grain, because if you go across the grain, it's more tender. If you go with the grain, it is chewier. I'll cut them up into strips after. So now that they're all in the large slices, I then cut them in half so they look kind of like that. The bigger pieces I cut into strips of 3. Then I stick all the sliced pieces in a large freezer bag and keep in the fridge while we go to the next step, which is to mix up the marinade. Okay, the base marinade for the beef jerky is soy sauce, apple cider vinegar, water, and ground black pepper. So for every kilo, you would use 180 mils of soy sauce, 35 mils apple cider vinegar, 35 mils water, and 2 grams of black pepper. So I'm doing it for 1.5 kilos. So that's 270 mils soy sauce, 52.5 mils apple cider vinegar, 52.5 mils water, and 3 grams of black pepper. Now comes the fun part, spicing it up. So I use a mixture, depending on how I feel. Garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, those are the 3 key. Then chili, paprika, cayenne, sriracha adds a nice sort of sweet hotness to it. And my 2 secret ingredients for that extra kick is liquid smoke, and this one is really important, celery seed. Celery seed is hard to find here, but I can fix you up with some because I brought some back from Canada. So basically, you just add that to your marinade, and I suggest you whisk it, do a finger dip, and do it to taste. But I always start with onion powder, garlic powder, and cumin as the main ingredients, and then spice it up from there. Okay, so I got my marinade to taste, just enough so it's got a bit of burn on the lips, and then I put it in the freezer bag, squeezed all the air out, tied it up, and then give it a good shake and squish and massage so it's all mixed in there nicely. And then it's ready to sit in the refrigerator for about, I don't know, anywhere between 16 to 24 hours, longer the better. Okay, so the meat has been marinating for close to about 21 hours. So what I do is I remove the trays from the dehydrator and I set it to preheat, and while I'm getting the meat prepped to go in. So what I do is I drain the meat in a strainer, and then I use a pan with paper towel, because you want to dry the meat as much as possible before you put it on the trays. So I do a double layer of paper towel, and then I take 2 paper towels here and I just dry them off before I lay them on the sheets. So basically like that, leaving enough space for air to circulate between them. Okay, I've used all 6 trays, and the dehydrator's preheated. I'm going to give it 9 hours, but I will rotate the trays after 4.5 hours. And then at the end of 9 hours, we'll have jerky. So now that it's done its 9 hours in the dehydrator, I tip it into a pan to cool before I put it into packets and keep in the refrigerator. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, but it does keep longer that way. You know it's nice and dried when you crack it, and it bends, and it's fibrous like that. So now Time to enjoy some jerky.